Hey, what's going on YouTube? Will here from All Electric, back again with another video. And today we're looking at the Eahora XC100 e-bike. In this video, you're gonna get an unboxing and a complete review. I've done over 40 miles on this e-bike and it's pretty good as an entry-level e-bike, especially at a price point that's under 800 bucks. There's a lot of things that I love about this bike, and especially the price point. There's not a lot of other e-bikes with comparable specs on the market right now for under 800 bucks, which is really impressive. But before we get to the riding review, I want to do a complete unboxing, so feel free to skip ahead in the video if you just want to see the riding review and how this thing handles. It's definitely not a mountain bike, it's more of a commuter bike. But at under $1,000, only $800 on Amazon, I'll have a link below. This is a very nice bike. So first of all, this is a huge box. This is pretty heavy, so definitely be careful when you're unboxing it yourself. A ton of protective material here, but as you're gonna see in a few minutes, that did not help this bike. When you see this thing come out of the box, it definitely has some assembly required, but don't be intimidated. They give you all the tools that you need to put this thing together, and it only took me about 10 or 15 minutes to put the entire bike together, just installing the handlebars and installing the front wheel and the front light. But I did run into an issue because the front fork was actually bent during shipping, bent significantly. Like, this box was dropped by the carrier, whoever delivered this, UPS, FedEx, whoever delivered it, and you can see the damage to the box right there. And so I did contact Eahora and they were able to send me a replacement fork. I really did like how responsive their customer service was, and that's definitely a plus for this company. I sent an email and got a response almost immediately, and they were able to send me out a replacement front fork. You can see the new versus the old one there. Installing the new front fork wasn't that hard. It just took a little bit of time. I would say about 15 minutes or so. The biggest time consuming thing was readjusting the front brake, but I went ahead and had the light installed, then installed the front tire on the front fork, and we were ready to roll. Now, a couple other things that were included in the box was the charger, which I didn't go over because it's a very standard charger. Now, something else that was damaged that I didn't see was the brake lever, and again, very responsive. I told them that this was another damaged part and they shipped me out a new one. So overall, the bike, the build quality of it is really nice. They have a lot of nice features, just like this light here, where you can see that they took a lot of care in designing this. And I really like this cable management system that they have to manage all these cables that are needed on an e-bike for the display, for the certain controllers, and for, not to mention, the brakes. So it is tucked away very nicely with this little discrete cable management system that they have, and it goes actually into the frame, to the battery, and then to the rear wheel hub motor. The only difference between the XC100 and the XC100 Plus is the display. You get a black and white display with the XC100, and the Plus gives you a color display. To be honest, I would just stay with the 100, and you don't need the Plus. There's no need for a color display. You'll also find a cadence sensor which lets the bike know when to turn on the hub motor, which does have a slight delay of about 1 or 2 seconds, not a huge deal. No issues right out of the box as far as shifting gears go. They definitely did a great job, and I would say that these are decent quality parts that they're using. But again, this is an entry-level e-bike. This is designed for commuting. The tires are a bit thin, so you might run into a flat tire here and there. But again, this is for street commuting. This is not a true mountain bike. But this bike still does a great job on and off the road. I really love how easy this bike is to use. Once you turn the bike on by simply pressing a button, you can actually go from a dead stop just using the throttle control, similar to like an ATV. And so you can just throttle the bike and there's no need to pedal. You can see here I'm actually just using the throttle to go. And this is a nice option, especially if you are using this bike as a commuter and it's hot outside and you don't want to get all sweaty. You can simply just use the throttle to get around like you see here. Now this 350 watt motor definitely does not feel super powerful when you're just using the throttle, but during the pedal assist it has plenty of juice, and the smaller 350 watt motor is a lot more efficient and is going to get you more range compared to some other e-bikes with more expensive and larger motors. Now you can see there I almost stalled out using just the hub motor trying to get up this little hill here, but in the pedal assist mode, if I just was pedaling, it would have been no issue. Now I did say that this was not a mountain bike, but as you can see here, I'm not on the road. So if you did have a commute where you had to go and traverse some terrain that was not a pavement or a paved path, this will still do the job. And again, this is an entry-level e-bike that is designed for like the urban commuter, and this is definitely the ideal commuting e-bike. Now it's not the most powerful motor. You can see here it actually stalls on the hill and I start to go back down the hill. But again, if you're using that pedal assist where you're actually pedaling, or if you're getting some extra speed, then you'll be able to make it up the hill. So you can see this is just from the hub motor and I'm not going to get enough speed to go up the hill. But then if I get some more speed, I'm going to loop around here and then come up the hill, and this is just using the throttle. So I have the throttle for the 350 watt motor and I'm going to go up the hill now, and it does just barely miss the hill. So I did almost get up to the top of the hill with this 350 watt motor, but again, if I was pedaling, it would be no issue. Now there's another thing that I want to talk about they have designed, and that is regenerative braking, or what they call is the E-Pass. So when you're coming down a hill going 15 miles an hour or over, you can feel the regenerative braking kick in, and that's putting juice back into the battery. Now here is it from a dead stop going up the hill, not pedaling, just using the throttle, and it is kind of underwhelming. A 500 watt motor on a more expensive e-bike would be more fun, but again, you're spending at least double what this Eahora XC100 costs at only 800 bucks. During my real world testing, I did notice that this Eahora e-bike was very efficient in going downhill, and I did get significant amount of charge going back into the battery. Now, riding this bike comfort-wise, I'm 6'1" and about 200 pounds, and I would like to see these handlebars come back about 2 inches. Now there is a limited amount of adjustment that I can do with the handlebars to bring them back towards the seat. Other than the handlebars, there is really no complaint, and this thing is super easy to ride, and the front fork provides plenty of shock to go up and down curbs or on an off-road trail. Now, I did get a chance to test the top speed, which they claim is 28 miles an hour, but if in the pedal assist mode, I can actually get this thing up to 33 miles an hour when I am in the top gear and I am pedaling pretty aggressively. This e-bike is definitely nice because you don't have to put a ton of energy on a traditional bike. You're doing all the work, but as soon as you start pedaling, that rear hub motor is going to kick in and give you a boost. And this is really fun to ride. Now, of course, more expensive or faster e-bikes would be more fun because you're going to get more torque, but this is still providing plenty of torque, especially to get up hills, and ultimately, this is an entry-level e-bike. If you're trying to spend under $1,000 and get a really nice e-bike, then this is definitely the one for you. This is a perfect urban commuter. I'll have a link down below to this bike on Amazon in the description. A big thank you goes out to Eahora Tool and Nikola Pro supporting this channel at the all-electric tier. If you want to support this channel, head over to Patreon. There's a link below. I hope you guys liked this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. Share this video with a friend, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button. As always, guys, I'll see you in the next one.